Hello, Cellulites. Welcome back to the Undead Celluloid Society's podcast. I'm your host, Michael.
And I'm Rachel.
And today we are covering 1999's film Deep Blue Sea, the greatest shark movie of all time.
Absolutely.
At least in my non-objective opinion.
Yeah.
Deep Blue Sea is, like I said, a 1999 film. Adventure horror. It's about these scientists that are doing research on sharks, and they shouldn't be doing that because it makes them smart.
Well, they can do research, but they
Genetically
modified them.
Yes, so they're not natural sharks. They're smart, deadly sharks.
Apparently, they didn't learn from anaconda.
They got really big too. This came out before they were doing all this research, all the research on the snakes. That one snake was just eating people.
Oh, you're right. Yeah. Okay. My
No,
bad.
no testing yet on those bad boys.
Yeah.
I swear, if one of these sequels that Deep Blue Sea has a regenerating shark, though, I'm probably just gonna jump into the water myself.
Yeah, just kill yourself now, or just don't go in the water ever.
Yeah, I won't go anywhere near that research facility.
Yeah, right.
So the film is pretty much a cautionary tale of don't mess with nature with science.
Basically.
Very, very bad idea.
Mm-hmm.
So our movie starts with these horny teenagers on a sailboat, and they're just having a good old time, making out. The one girl has her leg over in the water. I would never do that.
No.
I don't even put my leg over the bed. I'm scared of getting pulled under by a demon or something. So I don't know what this girl's braver than me.
Yeah.
Well, a shark attacks the boat. It rips the boat apart. And as the girl is about to get eaten because she gets flung, they all get flung into the water. That one guy headbutts his girlfriend in the face.
I missed that part.
Yeah, he's like, oh, and hits her. It's so funny. They all go in the water and they get saved by a mysterious stranger that we will meet later. It just cuts right away from that. Mm-hmm. We now have our main character, played by Saffron Burrows, Susan McAllister. She is explaining to this group of corporate stooges at Chimera Pharmaceuticals why her shark escaped. Why? And then they're like, well, stock prices are now sinking. But she is there to make a desperate appeal to the head of Chimera Pharmaceuticals, James Franklin, who is Samuel L. Jackson, top billed in this movie. We get a little bit of his. Oh no, we get that later.
Mm-hmm.
She is so basically the reason they are testing on these sharks. We don't know that they genetically engineered them. We just know that they're testing and taking chemicals or taking proteins from their brain. The reason for this is that they think that the protein from the shark's brain can reverse symptoms from Alzheimer's.
Yes.
So she tells the story about how her mom had Alzheimer's, and it was really It was really hard on her and her father. So she wants to save that for other people. Mm-hmm. Well, the appeal sort of works. James Franklin agrees to go with her to the base to see them conduct a test on it and see if it's working. Otherwise, they're going to pull funding for the project, and they are all going to be out of a job.
Yeah.
So they take this little mini plane to their research facility, Aquatica, which is in the middle of the ocean. It looks like it's off the coast of California based on that radar. And on the way there, we find out that James Franklin was involved in a skiing accident in the Himalayas.
There's an avalanche.
Avalanche that blocked him and a group of people in. It doesn't really. I mean, it kind of ties in a little bit with his speech later, but he has some guilt from that because she's like, "You saved all those people. You did a good thing." And he's like, "I didn't save all of them."
Yeah.
That'll sort of come back later. Not really. They land. We get to meet the skeleton crew because everyone else is going home for the weekend. The skeleton crew consists of Brenda, who is a assistant scientist to Susan McAllister, and Jim.
Jim, yeah. So it's Susan and Jim,
are
main ones.
The main ones.
And then
Peeing in the Wind.
yeah, and then Janice, who is married to Jim, I think.
Yeah, Brenda is not a scientist. Brenda is the radio tower lady. I don't know why I said she was a scientist.
When I said Janice, I was like, oh yeah, he messed that one up. But yeah, no, she's the tower control.
Tower control. She's playing music and stuff, and she's the one that
she's great.
Yeah, she's she's a character for like 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Then we have Janice, who is either dating Jim or something. They don't have the same last name, so I don't think that they're married. I mean, they could still be married, but they're a thing. Then we also meet our shark wrangler, who is Carter. Carter is the one who saves, played by Thomas Jane, very well in this movie. Mm-hmm. He's the one that saves the teenagers from the shark at the beginning. Then we have Tommy Scoggins, who is an engineer on the facility, played by Michael Rappaport. Mm-hmm. Also, Jim is played by Stellan Skarsgård. Shit ton of stuff. This cast is pretty loaded with a lot of people. At this time in 1999, I think the obviously the most well-known one's going to be Samuel L. Jackson, because Pulp Fiction has come out at this point. A bunch of other films that Sam Jackson has been in. This is also the same year that Star Wars Episode 1 came out. So this would have been like 2 months after people saw him as Mace Windu.
Yeah. Hold on, he was bald in Star Wars.
He was bald in Star Wars.
He was not bald in this one.
No, I mean, his hair grows back. They didn't film. I mean, it took more than there's a 2-month gap between that.
Yeah, that's true.
They also filmed this movie, it took them 3 years to make this thing.
Well, yeah, because they were switching between shooting with real sharks and then animatronics and CGI.
Yeah, Thomas Jane was not a big fan of swimming with those real sharks.
I wouldn't either.
Yeah. That was the last thing they did too, which usually that means it's the most dangerous thing.
Yeah, just in case he dies.
Yeah, whoops. Accidentally got eaten by a shark.
We can still use the footage.
Yeah, right. The guy that's supposed to survive at the end, spoiler.
Yeah.
But, so we introduced all these characters.
You forgot Preacher.
We haven't seen him yet. We do get to meet Preacher, who is played by LL Cool J, rapper LL Cool J. Mm-hmm. Doing a great job in this movie, too.
Yeah, him and his bird. Does the bird have a name? I think he just calls it Bird.
Yeah, he does call it Bird.
Yeah, I don't...
Tells him he has a big fat butt.
The bird,
yeah.
The bird
you got a big fat butt.
Honestly. Where does he get this? Because, Preacher's supposed to be, Preacher.
Oh, yeah, but he, cusses and stuff, too. He's LL Cool J. I mean, he's...
He loosely
he's a rapper
paraphrases
Preacher.
The Bible. So.
He does. We'll see that later.
Yeah.
So we introduced all these characters. No one really likes... Samuel L. Jackson's character. I mean,
he's a rich guy in a suit.
Well, he's also it's like when you're the head supervisor comes around and is like, "Hello guys, how are you doing today?" You know what I mean?
Or the guy that's trying to shut you down.
Yeah, I mean, but he's also their boss technically. Mm-hmm. So it's obviously coworkers act different around their boss.
Yeah.
So they're going to be standoffish. So we get introduced to all these characters. This is also where we're introduced to these sharks, who are the antagonists of the film. Mm-hmm. There is we find out that the shark that escaped was just a tiger shark, not one of the sharks. They're doing research on these other sharks. I don't know what they're doing to them, but the ones that they are specifically taking the protein from are great whites.
They're Mako.
They're Mako sharks, not great whites. I'm sorry. They look like great white sharks. Do. They're also way bigger than great white sharks.
Yeah.
There's a Generation 2 female and there's 2 Generation 1 males. And they are the main ones. We see a shadow, Samuel L. Jackson is looking over the water, and we see the silhouette of one, and it's huge. It's 30 feet long, 30 mm-hmm. or 35 feet long.
Yeah, it was giant.
So they take the elevator down. There's a birthday party for Susan.
Which is funny because no one really likes her either.
No, they like her less and less as the movie goes on, because we find out kind of all this stuff about her. She's pretty much a jerk the whole movie.
Yeah, but she doesn't really have a relationship with any of them.
No, it seems like Carter has a crush on her though, because he wants to like. He's always talking about taking her for a beer and stuff, and she's always like, maybe some other time. You know what I mean? Like kind of like blowing him off.
Mm-hmm.
I'd go for a beer with Thomas Jane. That guy looked good in this movie.
He did. He really did.
So they have a birthday party for her. We get some, a little bit of character development between the three. It's nice. It's nice in the sense that it gives us a little bit of dialogue between the characters before shit goes down. But not too much. This movie does not drag its feet.
No.
It kind of it goes at a good enough pace that I would describe it as like summer blockbustery. Like you're not bored. It's constantly moving.
Yeah, and for it only being an hour and 45 minutes long, like a lot happens.
Yeah, and which I mean, with comparison, we just watched a movie that was an hour and 45 minutes long, and Sharks of the Corn. And it moved at a snail's pace.
Yeah. Nothing happened.
So movies, an hour and 45 minutes can seem like a very long time with the wrong film. Mm-hmm. But with this movie, not at all.
No. Great.
So fast forward a little bit, we get to see they're going to conduct a test on the Generation 2 female, pull the protein from her brain, and test it on the Alzheimer's patient. Before that, Carter is swimming through this like underwater like tunnel system to get to the pin where the Gen 2 is at, and these the two Generation 1s come on both sides and they're like attacking it.
Yeah, like a coordinated effort
To like get into it and eat him.
Yeah.
But they're not successful. He pulls his gun out and they swim backwards and they run away, which sharks can't swim backwards.
No.
And
then James Franklin is like, did you guys just see that? Or did I just see that? Like, they recognize the gun.
Yeah, they were scared of the gun, so they swam away, which they should not.
No.
They should not. That's a sign that something's wrong.
Yeah.
Something's, maybe we should, something's wrong here. Well, so he pulls a little bait and switch with the Gen 2 when he gets out to the sea, sedates her, brings her up in this really cool, like they're in this underwater part of the lab, where they bring up the Gen 2 on a platform, and she's sedated. They have like straps on her and stuff, so she can't really move. Like she's kind of like halfway in the water, so she's not totally out of water. Mm-hmm. So Carter's like holding on to her, like pouring water over her and stuff. And they are going to harvest this compound out of the shark's brain. And Susan gets in the water, starts to do that. They're all like sitting around. This set is really cool looking to me. I think it looks really neat.
Yeah, the wet lab is probably my favorite.
Yes, yeah. So she gets the protein out of the brain, and she starts to run some tests, or she drips it, I guess,
on a piece of brain matter from an Alzheimer's patient.
That's what it looks like.
But like, wouldn't that brain tissue be dead?
You would think so. I don't know where they're getting it from.
Yeah.
Unless that's what's in that fake shark. Because she has like a model shark in her room that looks like it has a real brain in it, and she takes something out of the brain in a needle.
Yeah. So
maybe that's what's holding I don't know. It's not really explained.
It's not real. It's a movie.
It's a movie. You have to suspend your disbelief. They also genetically modified Mako sharks to be like super geniuses.
Yeah. Thinking 5 steps ahead of humans.
They're playing chess while the others are playing checkers.
Mm-hmm.
So they pour she puts drops of the protein on this membrane, and they're looking for electricity, and it sparks off. And they're all happy, having a good time. Stellan Skarsgård's Jim is smoking a cigarette, which Janice does not like. But he's like, whatever.
Celebrating.
Yeah, so he's smoking a cigarette, and then he goes, he leans down to like, just, I guess, stare at the shark. He's like, we did it. And the shark wakes up, grabs his arm with the cigarette. It's a no smoking thing. Right?
That's what happens if you smoke.
Yeah, no smoking. Rips his arm off. Mm-hmm. Then shit really hits the fan. It goes into like this really cool slow-mo shot where he's trying to like get away from the shark. and then everyone's like rushing to him. They're like slipping all over the place because it's a wet lab. Also, there's blood everywhere now. Mm-hmm. They're falling all over the place. They're wrapping it up. Susan and Janice are trying to like get a tourniquet around his arm, and Carter busts through the emergency glass where a shotgun is, and he's going to put this Gen 2 down.
Yeah.
Well,
could have avoided a lot of grief.
Unless Susie McAllister's got something to say about that, because she turns around and is like, Carter, no.
Yeah, literally slow-mo.
It is all slow. This is a whole slow-mo shot. Mm-hmm. Runs over, lets the shark out.
Yep. Pushes the emergency drop.
She kind of gets what's coming to her later because of this.
Yeah, right? Like, come on.
I used to really like...
shows that this shark is dangerous.
Yes. I also used to really like her character and kind of felt sympathy for her. And then, like, rewatching it so many times, I'm like, fuck this girl.
Yeah.
I understand why no one likes her.
I mean, like, you know, you understand, like, it's a movie. It has to go on. So, like, she had to do that. Like, her character had to do that. But at the same time, it's like, you could have avoided so much death and destruction.
Yes.
And just made another shark.
I think that I might have had sympathy for her because I had a crush on Saffron Burrows.
Probably.
So that might be why.
That might be a good reason.
Yeah, just willing to forgive her of her toxicity. Anyways, so they release the Gen. She releases the Gen 2. They do not. No one else is really happy with that decision, especially Carter, who calls her insane because she's kind of acting insane.
She had an unhinged moment.
Yes. So they get Jim on a gurney, and they are taking him up through the elevator to the surface level. Brenda has called an emergency helicopter. This is also during like a hurricane that's happening outside. This is they don't say hurricane, but like a huge storm. It's pouring down the rain. The waves are big. Yeah. This life flight helicopter comes out, attaches a cable to Jim, and they're lifting him up in the air. And as they're lifting him up in the air, it malfunctions, and he plummets back into the water. What a bad time for him. For some reason, they go
into the shark pen.
Yes. And for some reason, they go back to the wet lab. I'm not sure why they go back to the wet lab, but they go back down to the wet lab. And
to check the cameras.
Oh, yeah.
But the sharks ate the cameras.
The sharks start eating all the cameras. Yeah. And then they grab a hold of Jim, and who is still attached to this cable with the helicopter, and pulls it towards the radio tower, and the helicopter crashes into the radio tower, exploding it, killing the pilots, killing Brenda. Rest in peace, lady. He had a great 7 minutes of screen time.
Right. Which then sets off like multiple other explosions.
Yeah, it kind of shuts down the facility a little bit.
Yeah.
It really fucks stuff up. The sharks now have Jim in their jaws. Mm-hmm. Or the shark. The Gen 2 has Jim in his jaws, and she throws him at the glass where the wet lab is.
3-inch thick, at least 3-inch thick glass. And it breaks.
It starts to crack at first, which I don't think it would do that.
There's no way.
There's not enough force, and what they're throwing at it is not.
Yeah, no,
it's a person. Like, yeah.
The force from the water is so much greater than just throwing him in the gurney.
It would literally be like this. That's what would have happened.
Yeah. Literally nothing.
So, but movie.
Yeah.
Glass starts to break, and then this is interesting because it's a little unscripted, like how much water goes into where they are, because they start falling all over the place, and it doesn't look scripted because it's not.
Yeah,
they're falling all over the place in this water, trying to get up to the next facility, or out of this part of the facility into the hallway. Mm-hmm. They succeed in doing that. No one else dies. Jim is drowned.
Jim dies.
Yeah, Jim is dead. Poor preacher is just cooking in his kitchen while this shit's happening. While this happens, like, you know, everything starts to fall all around him and stuff. And then his bird's like, "Hey, asshole!
eat
me, asshole!
Yeah, eat me, asshole!" But then he notices the the explosions make him call Brenda.
Yeah, who's dead?
Yeah, who's dead.
Yeah, he's trying to call people.
And
Can't
then
get a
he
hold of anybody.
notices the water.
Yeah, so
He's like he's so out of all of this. He has no idea what's going on. Could you imagine?
he's a side plot by himself.
Yeah.
Him and a bird for a little bit. So they get into the hallway. They try to go one way, but they see that it's like there's a lot of pressure against the door and the water's coming through it. The shark busts through the door, flooding the hallway, so they get to another part of the facility. There's a lot of them shutting doors because every part of this facility is getting flooded. They're at the very bottom. They're not at the very bottom. They're at the second to bottom level of the facility.
And they're trying to go down.
They're trying to go down because there's a wet pool with a submersible that they can take to the surface.
Yes.
They finally have a little bit of peace, and Samuel L. Jackson's like, this shark can bust through a steel door. That doesn't seem right, especially with not that much space. And that's when we learned that they were genetically modified by Susie and Jim because the shark's brains did not have enough of the protein complex they were trying to get. Mm-hmm. So they broke this Harvard compact that I guess that like genetically modifies animals. And that's when Janice calls her a stupid bitch. Because
her boyfriend died.
Yeah, I'd be a little upset too.
Yeah.
That we learned that just enough time to cut back to Preacher coming up on a door that is starting to, like, as you can see water coming out of it, a shark busts through. It's one of the Gen 1s. And it basically pushes him back into his kitchen. Mm-hmm. So he climbs up on one of the shelves, like one of the steel shelves, out of the water, and his bird is on one of the floating pans. He reaches down to pick the bird up, and the shark eats the bird. Eats the bird. Were you? I was like, oh, I wasn't that upset. Oh. He was more upset than I was. Yeah. But it was his pet bird. I'd be upset if it was my pet bird that got eaten by a shark.
Yeah.
The shelf falls over. Somehow the shark is not still there. He gets, it comes back into the room. As he gets into his oven, it's like it's a 2-story oven. Mm-hmm. So he's on the bottom part of the oven. He shuts the door, and the shark accidentally turns it on, like while it's trying to like ram into him. He's a fire axe, by the way, that he had picked up. Mm-hmm. And he's like, I appreciate the irony, Lord. Cook dies in his own oven. As he's like, as he's like chopping away at the top, and as soon as he like does that, and like all that like clears all of that hot metal, I'm like, you're gonna get cut so bad as you like climb.
You were saying that a lot.
Oh yeah, because it looked like sharp and stuff. Like that guy would really mess you up.
You were very concerned about it.
Yeah, I mean, LL Cool J is not like super skinny either. I mean, that's like
and it was a small oven.
Yeah, it was a really small oven. He eventually succeeds in cutting his way through to the second story of this oven and opens the door. It'd still be like super hot and like burning you and stuff. Well, the gases that are being emitted there's gases being emitted from this oven. He dives into the water, and then he finds a lighter conveniently.
That's not wet.
That's not, yeah, and it works. And the shark goes to turn around. And he's like, "You killed my bird." Throws the lighter, and it blows up the shark. Mm-hmm. One shark down.
One shark down.
Preacher 1, sharks 0. No,
sharks 2.
Sharks 2. No, more. 4.
4.
We don't count them though. Two of them are unnamed characters.
But still, I mean,
whatever.
Still got it. Oh well, I mean, if you count the bird, that's 5.
You don't count the bird. I don't even know if he actually gets credits in this.
Well, he should.
Because he might actually. I'm not sure.
He's a great actor.
Yeah. They had to use fun fact. They had to use 2 birds for this movie.
Because one could fly.
One could fly, the other couldn't.
Yeah.
One could fly and the other could talk.
Yeah.
Was actually the thing. So the one that flies can't talk.
Right.
And the one that talks can't fly. What
kind of parrot can't fly?
What good are you as a bird if you can't fly? What do you do with yourself?
Yeah,
you got wings.
Yeah.
Whatever. Spend all of his time talking instead of flying. That's what you get. He's practicing the wrong muscles. He's got a nasty ass tongue too. LL Cool J tells him that when he gives him some whipped cream.
Birds do have weird tongues.
They do. So now we cut back to the main group. Their plan is, as we said, they're going to the wet pool where the submersible is, which is on the very bottom of the facility. They get down there. They are now put on wetsuits, and Samuel L. Jackson gives a very riveting speech about how they have to stick together. They can't lose hope. And then he tells the rest of the story where he gets trapped in the avalanche, and he says something about ice moving like it has a mind. It killed the world once, and it looks like it like had a taste, and now it will kill anything that's bad. Whatever. It also is kind of insinuated that they might have eaten people in the thing, because he says, all I know is that there were 7 of us when we went down, only 5 of us made it out.
Because he also was like, I don't know when we turned on each other.
Yeah, so they definitely ate 2 people to stay alive.
Or they killed each other.
They ate them. They had to have eaten
them. They were in that.
They were in there for like a week or something. Yeah. So he gives a big speech. It zooms in on his face, and you know what's going to happen.
Oh yeah.
He's right beside that pool.
And Jim tells him, not Jim, Carter tells him, I wouldn't stand so close to that if I were you. Just
an idea or something like that.
Yeah.
So and then the Gen 2 jumps out of the wet pool, grabs
James.
Samuel L. Jackson.
Yeah.
And pulls him in. And then she and the other Gen 1 rip him in quarters and eat him.
Yeah. It was pretty gruesome.
Yeah. The submersible is wrecked, by the way. That's why they're putting these wetsuits on. Their plan now is they're going to take the dry shaft where the elevator is to the top floor.
But they had to.
The problem is, though, that once they open the pressurized shaft, it'll destabilize the wet pool, flooding the facility. Mm-hmm. But Jim is dead. Samuel L. Jackson is dead. Top billed actor dead. We still got 40 minutes left of this movie. And there's still some meat out there that needs to be eaten by them sharks.
They haven't killed everyone just
yet.
They
haven't killed everyone just yet.
Yeah. And that's when Scoggins is like, this is what happens. You screwed with the sharks, now the sharks are screwing with us.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So they get to the other part they get to where the elevator is. They open the pressurized shaft, and it starts to flood.
Oh yeah, water just shoots up.
This is also a really cool shot too, because they start climbing up this elevator, and you look up, and I guess from the pressurization being compromised,
explosions.
Yeah, it would. The very top is on fire, so and there's like little bits of fire like falling down, and they're trying to get to the very top of the facility, like right beside that, where their quarters and stuff are. Mm-hmm. And as that's happening, water is gushing in the bottom, slowly filling up. Eventually, a shark gets in. Mm-hmm. It's the other Gen 1. No, I don't know. It might be. It's definitely the Gen 1 because the Gen 2 is like way too big.
Yeah.
And it's circling in a thing while they're climbing up this ladder. It's such a cool shot. Mm-hmm. I remember this is like the only thing I remember from watching this as like a little kid.
Yeah.
When it came out. So they're climbing up the ladder, and then the ladder like falls, and like perfectly like catches on the other side. So it's like monkey bars now. Mm-hmm. And as it like hits the other side, Janice loses her grip and falls into the water. Mm-hmm. Because she's the only one that's like that far up where it falls. There's the rest of them are still climbing up. Mm-hmm. So they climb up, and they're like sitting up there on the monkey bars. Carter like leans down to like try to grab her out of the water, and then a shark grabs her, pulls her up, and then pulls her down. Mm-hmm. Janice dead.
Janice dies.
Janice dead.
Yeah.
We are now down to Susie, Scoggins, and Carter.
And Preacher.
And Preacher, but he's not there.
No.
So they're sitting there. They're starting to lose hope because they are just out of reach of where they were trying to go with the door. They can't reach it. And they hear thudding from up there, so they assume that the sharks have already flooded that part of the facility. And then the door opens. It's Preacher. I don't know why he was just beating on the door because he just like wheeled it open.
Yeah, because they thought he was a shark.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
he opens it. He gets them out. They're on. They are now trying to figure out a new plan of what to do. So Scoggins and Carter decide that they are going to go to the wet lab, and they need to release some pressure from a stairwell so they can get to another hatch to open and swim out.
Right.
While they're deciding to do this side quest, Susie goes on her own side quest of getting her research from her room, and the floor is partially flooded, so she's got to wade through water to get to her room. And while that's happening, Preacher is in his room, filming a tape.
Oh yeah, if he doesn't survive.
Yeah, he's trying to figure out what his legacy is going to be. So he decides on the perfect omelet.
Yeah,
because he's
great legacy.
He's a cook. So
yeah.
So, which one should we start with? You want to start with Carter and Scoggins, or you want to start with Susie's?
Start with Susie's.
Okay, so Susie gets to her room. It's like, basically, it's up to like her chest, or no, it's up to like her waist.
Yeah.
And then she gets a fake jump scare where the fake shark like hits her in the back. She gets her stuff, and then the Gen 1 shark comes into the room to antagonize her basically and eat her. She gets this idea to there is one of her desks is just above water level, so she takes her wetsuit off and puts the dry part on the surface, and she stands on that, and she breaks this electrical cord that is behind her and throws it into the Gen 1's mouth, electrocuting it.
And in turn, electrocuting her.
All her research.
All her
research is
which
ruined.
she dropped in the water.
Yeah, she dropped it in the water. It was just she was just trying to hold on, and not fall into the electrocuted water. Mm-hmm. So she kills the Gen 1. At this point, too, at the same time, it's kind of cut back and forth. Scoggins and Carter are swimming to the wet lab. They get to where the control panel is, and Carter and Scoggins open it, and as they do, the Gen 2 comes and eats Scoggins in half. It like bites his top part, and his like legs like twitching, like his lower half is like twitching.
Yeah. And it also rams him into the electrical cabinet.
Yes.
So like effectively just undoing what they just did, I'm assuming.
Yes.
Which
that happens. They all the remaining trio reunite, and they decide that they're going to open this hatch in a room by one of their quarters that will go directly to the surface. But instead of just going straight up, they are going to allow these. They're going to set off fire extinguishers with life jackets as a distraction, so that the shark doesn't know where they are. There's just one shark now.
Because the sharks are attracted to churning water.
Yes.
And noise.
Yes. What happened to the other sharks that they're testing?
They ate the tiger shark.
Oh, did they?
Yeah.
They do. Yeah, they do. They ate the other sharks. That's right.
Yeah.
That's why it's just them. What dicks.
Well, they actually dropped the tiger shark in the pen with them.
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. What dicks.
Yeah, I know, right? What was the whole point of
bringing it back?
Yeah.
Anyways, so during this point that the preacher loosely quotes Psalms about being the meanest motherfucker in the valley. You know, walk through the valley of the shadow of death. I will fear no evil, for you are with me.
Right.
So they let off. They open the hatch. The facility continues to slowly fill with water. They get out to the outside of the facility. They let off the fire extinguishers with the life jackets.
Yeah.
I don't know why I couldn't think of what they were called. Released to the surface, the shark starts going after them while they're swimming through them. They make it to the surface, and they're going to get ready to swim to. I mean, the whole place looks post-apocalyptic now.
Yeah.
Like Waterworld or something.
Yeah.
There's like random slabs of like places, like concrete you can like sit on and stuff. Well, Preacher gets grabbed by the leg by the Gen 2, and it starts carrying him around and stuff. He ends up taking his cross necklace off and stabbing it in the eye.
And it lets go.
So they grab him, they pull him onto land. They're like on one of like where the lookout towers are. And they decide, well, no, they don't decide on anything yet. They're just sitting there talking. They find out that the reason that the sharks have been doing all this is that they were trying to get the people to flood the facility because the bottom part of the gate is titanium where the sharks are normally, and it gives like a fence. So they wouldn't be able to break through that. But the top part is just steel.
Right.
And it doesn't give. It's just a normal fence.
Mm-hmm.
So they were using them to flood the facility so they could break through the fence and get to the ocean.
Right.
Because that's what an 8,000-pound Mako thinks of.
Yeah.
Freedom.
Yeah.
The deep blue sea.
If only,
title card.
If only they could jump as high as the shark did in the cornfield.
They could have just jumped over the fence. They wouldn't have had to worry about nothing.
No. They could have just escaped at any time they wanted.
Only they could have just swam on land, too.
Yeah, right?
That's literally what that shark
They
was.
would take over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So now Susie has decided we do have to kill the shark. Finally.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we got to kill it.
Yeah. Her redeeming moment.
Yes. So they take, they have a harpoon that has an explosive tip with a wire, and they're going to attach it to a car battery to send electrical current through it and make the shark go kaboom.
Yes.
This wire is very long, by the way.
Yeah, where do they get all this stuff?
I don't know. It doesn't matter.
It's a movie.
We're hitting the closing parts of this film.
Yeah.
So they the shark is Carter is trying to shoot the shark, can't get a shot off on it because it's underwater,
Mm-hmm.
and it's like trying to like break through the fence. It's almost broken through the fence all the way too.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Susie is like, well, I know how to get its attention because it's still an animal. So she cuts her hand, dives into the water, and the shark does the Finding Nemo thing where it's like turns around.
Smells good.
Yeah, that smells good. So yeah, he turns around and comes straight for Susie. Susie swims back to where she was and grabs onto the ladder, and it breaks as she falls in. At this point, Carter heroically jumps into the water, and you're thinking Carter's going to save this girl.
Mm-hmm.
She's had her redeeming quality, and she sits there for a second, and then the shark's staring at her, and then it just goes for it, rips her in half.
Oh yeah.
Brutally kills her.
And then eats all of her.
Yeah, it like eats her bottom part, and she's like kind of, her top part is like dead flailing, and then it like just grabs that and eats it.
Yeah.
Not what was supposed to happen originally.
Nope.
She was supposed to survive, but test audiences did not like that her character survived.
Yeah, they didn't feel she deserved it.
Yeah, they're like, no, kill this bitch.
Yeah, right. And also, I'm like, why did she not just like cut her hands and then just squeeze them over? Because a shark can smell a drop of blood within a mile radius.
I don't know. I think maybe also the because there's probably so much blood already in the water that maybe the impact of her, because they can also sense when you like enter the water too. So maybe the impact of her jumping into the water would have also distracted. Also, I mean, she wasn't trying to sacrifice herself.
Right.
She did get to the ladder in time.
But it broke.
But it broke. So that's not kind of. Also, I mean, just grab onto those holes and climb up.
Which is exactly what Carter did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Susie is dead.
Yeah.
Carter is in the water. He had put down the harpoon to dive into the water to save her. And he's doing his shark wrangler thing. It tries to come at him, and he like flips to the side and like grabs its fin, and it's like going up and down. And Preacher slowly gets over to where the harpoon is, and Carter tells him to take the shot, even though he doesn't have a clear shot. Shoots it, hits it in its dorsal fin, and it goes through the fin into Carter's thigh. So he's trying to wait at the last second to see if he can like get free before he like ignites it. Well, the shark is going full speed towards this fence. It busts through and it rips the harpoon out of Carter's thigh, which ouch.
Yeah, because it wasn't anything like super deep.
But it was deep enough that it would
Yeah.
hurt like an MFer.
Yeah.
And so he's holding on to the fence, and the shark has just came out. It's got freedom. It's at the deep blue sea. Well, not for long, because LL Cool J and then it blows up.
Yeah. A huge explosion.
Yeah. Giant blood and stuff falling everywhere.
And then the rest of the crew shows up on the boat.
Well, they lay there for a second, and Carter's got his like feet in the water.
Yeah, you're right.
And he's like, "Are you?" LL Cool J's like, "Are you sure it was just 2 sharks?" And he's like, "Yeah,
3 sharks.
3 sharks." He's like, "Yeah, yeah." And then he goes,
"Yep."
And he's like, "Yeah, that's what I thought." So they're laying there. The weekend is over, so the weekday crew comes back to see their whole facility that they worked at destroyed.
On fire. Underwater.
Most of it underwater. It's probably like, what the hell happened here?
They're all out of jobs.
They're all out of jobs. They're all jobless.
Yeah.
Well, Carter quit.
Carter did quit.
He said, "I quit."
Yeah, well, he did quit.
I quit this job, even though everyone's dead, so it doesn't really matter at that point.
No.
So, and then cut to credits. LL Cool J's "Deepest Bluest" song starts playing. His hat's like a shark's fin.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's lyrics from the song. So yeah, that's credits, title roll. Sharks dead, humans win. Yay.
Well, not all.
So it's really hard to speculate since we've watched this movie like a trillion times. Going into it, like, say you had never watched it before, would you have expected Carter and Preacher to survive as the characters?
I would have expected Preacher just because he kept making comments throughout the movie about like when he was talking to James Franklin about him skiing and the avalanche and stuff, he's like, there's enough ways for a brother to die without you doing some stupid shit like that.
Yeah, we leave that to the white folk.
Yeah, we leave that. Yeah, exactly. And then he makes another comment. It's like, ain't no way a brother gonna make it out of this alive. So
like making comments about his own demise and stuff.
Yeah, so it's like that makes me think stuff like that is like almost like reverse psychology. Like, you think he's gonna die, but
like a red herring kind of like he makes I guess it's not really a red herring, but
just reverse psychology.
See, I would have replaced if I on a first time viewing, looking at it from the perspective of it being in the 90s, like if I had went and watched this in theaters, I would have assumed that LL Cool J would have died and Samuel L. Jackson would have lived.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like the main character, because he is top billed in this movie. But this is also this is also at a time when stuff like Scream happens, where you think someone's the main character and they're not; they die.
Right.
So, it's tough. It's kind of tough to think. I honestly, I probably would have thought going in blind that Saffron Burrows' character and Samuel L. Jackson would have survived.
Yeah.
And then everyone else would have died. Carter probably would have been the last one to die. I'm glad that it turned out the way it did, though. Like, I like that. Carter is probably my favorite character. Well, Preacher is probably my favorite character, but I also really like Carter as well. I think Thomas Jane acts his ass off in this movie. He does a really good job.
Yeah, he does, especially since he's the one who had to swim with the sharks.
He did have to swim with sharks.
Yeah.
Good for him.
Like, he better have been, like,
he's
compensated.
He's good in pretty much everything he does, too, which is pretty impressive.
Yeah.
LL Cool J does really good in this movie, too.
For being a rapper, like, he's a very good actor, too.
Yeah, he had been in Halloween H2O the year before this, and I don't remember his role that well, because he's only a security guard in it. He survives in that too. Spoiler alert. But if we ever watch the Halloween series, spoiler.
Right. Yeah. I'll forget by then.
Yeah, probably, because it's like the 10th movie. So it's not the 10th movie. That's an exaggeration. It's like the 7th.
Oh, that's still a lot.
It is a lot.
Yeah.
So I don't remember his role in that as much, but in this, he's doing a great job, I think.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think anyone in this movie is a bad actor.
No.
I think they all do a pretty good job, which, budget of $60 million. Kind of cheating here.
Yeah.
But $82 million, not 60.
82.
It was 82. It said 60, 82, but then later it said 82.
Yeah.
This is just now all coming back to me.
Yeah. So, you can get pretty well known actors and.
Yeah, 100%.
So.
Really funny, too, because Rennie Harlan, the director, 15 years after this, makes a found footage movie.
Oh, does he?
About the Dyatlov Pass. You know what that is? About the Russian hikers that, like, mysteriously all died. Yeah, it's a found footage movie, and it's wild.
Is it bad?
It's something. We'll watch it in February.
Okay.
It's something.
Okay.
But yeah, I think he did a great job with this movie. I had a lot of fun. Usually this movie gets a lot of praise as like one of the best shark movies. I think it's the best, for my opinion. But I love Jaws, but this is just, I don't know, it just hits a different beat for me. It hits like what I want a shark movie to be.
Yeah. But so like when we were, going through the critics and stuff, they were saying how this was just trying to piggyback off of Jaws, and we're both like, it's nothing like Jaws.
Every shark movie ever made is going to get comparisons to Jaws.
But Jaws isn't even like the greatest shark movie ever.
A lot of people think it is.
It's just like the first.
It's not the
good
first
one.
It's the biggest.
It's the first good one.
But it is always, a shark movie is always going to draw comparisons.
Yeah.
To Jaws. You can't escape it.
Yeah.
The same way like slasher movies are always compared to like older slasher movies. You're always going to get comparisons. I also don't put a lot of stock in what older critics say about films, because retrospectively, a lot of people like a lot of stuff that they dog on.
Yeah.
There's a lot of movies I can think of. Like a big instance, my favorite horror movie is The Thing, from the 80s. That was hated when it came out. Hated by critics.
Yeah.
No critic liked. There might be a few, but most critics consensually did not like the movie. They hated it. It is now considered one of, if not the best horror movie ever made.
Are we gonna watch that at some point?
We can. It's my favorite, so we should.
Yeah.
It's a snowy movie.
A snowy?
Yeah, it's in the snow. It's in Antarctica.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it's good.
Okay.
But so I don't put a lot of stock into what critics say when it comes to stuff like that, especially older critics, because retrospectively looking at stuff, I think that there's a lot of stuff that people hate on at the time that we come back and look at and go, it's actually pretty good.
Yeah.
This is pretty good. It's not boring. I've watched this movie so many times and I've never been bored of it, which is crazy to think. I usually get bored with movies after like watching this so many times.
Yeah, I could have watched it again, to be quite honest.
Oh yeah, we could have. We had this episode recorded, and our file got corrupted, so we had to redo it.
Yeah, so I was honestly I was considering being like, we should just watch it again.
Deep Blue Sea all over again, baby. I love that movie so much. So yeah, we're a little biased when it comes to rating it, especially from a production standpoint. I think it's shot very well. The CG sharks look good. The animatronic shark looks great. The acting is great. The script it's not the greatest script of all time, but it's serviceable. Like there's not really a point where I'm like, oh, this is stupid. Honestly, I want to give it a 5 out of 5 for a production.
All right. I agree. Acting was great. There was the only time from my untrained eye, the only time that I actually knew it was CGI was when the shark came up and grabbed James Franklin, Samuel L. Jackson.
Well, also the waves too, with the helicopters.
Those looked real to me.
They looked so fake to me.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, they looked so real to me. But like I said, my untrained eye. But yeah, that part was the only time where I could actually, undoubtedly tell that it was CGI. So they did a really good job with that. And there was no weirdness, what do you mean? In the script. Not like the plot or like storyline, but like, I don't know, just like comparing it to Sharks of the Corn. Like just the weird freaking stuff that they would say and like the awkward like transitions. Like it all flowed so well.
So I will give a little credit to Sharks of the Corn because they're doing that on purpose. That stuff is like, the whole point is for it to be like, what is happening?
Yeah, I guess.
So that is purposefully done.
Yeah.
Whether it's effective or not,
yeah,
you be the judge.
Yeah, but so I will give it a 4.75.
Okay. 4.75.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the likability factor for me is super easy. It's a 5. Baby.
Yeah,
10 out of 10 for me. This is my standard for these types of movies.
I'll also give it a 5.
It's a perfect B movie.
Yeah. But it's not a B movie.
It has enough B movie campiness to it.
Really? You think so?
People call it a B movie.
Okay.
Even though it is not the budget of a B movie
No,
in any
not
sense.
at all.
So if you want a B movie done the way it's supposed to be, just have the A budget acting.
Yeah, exactly.
And budget.
Yeah, just have the budget.
It's at the budget too, I guess.
With the campiness.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then you got yourself a masterpiece.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is my first 10 out of 10.
It is. My first 9.75 out of 10.
Well, you gave a movie 10 out of 10 before.
What movie did I give it?
Totally Killer.
I did.
You gave Totally Killer.
I did. But I was also drunk.
You were feeling pretty good when we watched that.
Kind of drunk, yeah.
Yeah. But
and I made you let me take over the episode.
I liked that movie.
I loved that movie.
Rachel, you can take over the episode whenever you want. You don't have to be drunk to do it.
Yes, I do. You're better at talking than I am.
Nah, I don't think so.
Yeah.
I think we both do a good job. But regardless, those are our thoughts when it comes to Deep Blue Sea, 1999. That concludes our sharks for now. Mm-hmm. We were going to do 4, but Lake Placid and Anacondas took up way more of our summer than they thought that they were going to.
Seriously.
So next month, we're doing...
Back to our normal horror movies.
Are they? Because we have a theme for September.
We do?
We do.
I don't remember it.
It's vampires.
Oh, okay, that's fine.
We're doing vampire
No more
movies.
Creatures for a while, please.
They're creatures. They're creatures of the night.
You know what I mean.
So, yeah, vampires are next. Mm-hmm. Very, we're going from very campy and stupid to very sensual and romantic. Well, maybe
I'm
not
excited.
romantic. Probably not romantic, actually.
I don't remember what movies we had.
Oh, there's some bangers in there. It's something for you guys to look forward to, especially if you like vampires.
Vampire movies, yeah.
I love vampire movies, but I also love shark movies. So, anyways, until next time, we are the Undead Celluloid Society. Please like and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Mm-hmm. We appreciate all the dedication from you cellulites out there. Mm-hmm. But I'm your host, Michael.
And I'm Rachel.
And we thank you guys for listening.